Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk Podcast, a companion piece to our weekly cooking show, Cooking with Debbie and Friends. And my wife is goofing around. We caught her taking a selfie when we started the show. You good?
I'm good.
She got her selfie. Okay, we're going to upload that in a minute. We are live.
We are live. Okay.
Yes, we are.
All right. So, like Travis said, this is a companion piece to Cooking with Debbie and Friends,
Yep.
And we want to recap what we did on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to do a quick recap, and then we've got a special guest for tonight.
We have such a special guest. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, very, very exciting. My favorite comedian. I know that's taboo to say, considering I'm married to a comic, but I don't mind saying it. He's a very, very funny comic, Ian Bagg. We're going to bring him in just a minute.
He is so funny. He's a comic. In fact, I remember we got ready to go. It was a night off for me, and we went to Ontario Improv to go see Ian and take him some carrot cake.
Yeah.
Some carrot cake cupcakes that I made him. And Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias, was there on his, he only has 2 nights off a year.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And
probably.
So he went to go see Ian too. And just comics that come out to see Ian because he's a comics comic. So we're excited to have him.
So, but before we do, let's quickly talk about it. So in case you don't know, in case you're brand new, we do a weekly cooking show. We're doing it now on Sundays. And Deb, tell us about what we did just 2 days ago on Sunday.
We made turkey pot pies.
Yeah,
we made a quick version, like ones you can just grab out of your pantry. Like I always say on the show, we don't have any heroes here and we don't have any judgment here. So if you need to do like a canned veggie and a canned soup, cream of soup, and a pie crust that's, made by Marie Callender's and you picked it up in the frozen food section, do it. There's no such thing as, as long as you put the love in your food, who cares if it's a can?
Yeah.
So anyways, we did 2 versions of a pot pie. We did a canned one with canned veggies, canned soup, and then we did a one from scratch.
All cut up vegetables. If you don't, if you didn't see that episode or weren't able to catch us on Sunday, check that out on YouTube, youtube.com/Mommycomic. And, or you could check it out here. I'll put it up on the screen there. Cookingwithdebbieandfriends.com or on Facebook /Debi Gutierrez. So check out those episodes. This upcoming Sunday,
I think we're going to do sheet pan dinners. Sheet pan dinners, because I'm looking for something quick and easy. The holidays are on us, and I'm looking for something that can all be done on one pan. And then your dinner's done on one pan. And so we're going to do that. Also coming up, we're going to do gifts from our kitchen because I love to gift food. So we're going to be doing some, we're going to do all kinds of Christmas cookies. We're going to be doing chocolate chips, oatmeal, peanut butter, sugar.
We're getting fatter and fatter. We just keep talking about
it. Gifts from your kitchen. We're going to do spiced nuts. We're going to just have so much fun.
Yeah.
We're going to have a ball.
Oh my God.
Not all that's happening on Sunday.
Yeah, please tell me you're going to give most of that away because I can't afford to get any bigger.
All right.
Let's
get to our guest.
Yeah, that said, I just want to make sure everyone knows what we're doing, what we're up to. So thank you for tuning in. We've got a lot of people here already on the stream. Of course, my dad is the first one in there, and then a bunch of other friends. But let's for a moment set that aside. Let's intro Ian. And
wait, somebody said they like my hair.
You know who said that? Fabian always says that.
Fabian said I like my hair.
And then he said we look like beatniks.
We do.
Okay.
All right.
Ian Bagg is a world touring comedian and the host of a couple of awesome shows. He does Around the Bag once a week. He has a show called Ian Bagg Get a Real Job, and did a podcast called Ian Bagg Bought a House. He's incredibly funny. His crowd work is amazing, which is why he's my favorite comedian, because the guy is incredible. If you've never seen Ian Bagg live, you need to see him live, but definitely check him out on YouTube and Instagram and that, because he's got a lot of clips up there. And you've probably seen him on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Last Comic Standing, Adam Carolla's show, WTF with Mark Maron, wrap-up show Howard Stern, and tonight, Ian Bagg. is right here with us. All right, we're going to bring him in. Here he is, Ian Bagg.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, Ian?
Hi, guys. How are you? Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, my gosh.
I agree with Fabian. Your hair looks fantastic, Travis.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Debbie's hair.
With the quarantine...
I said it just before, and it's really sexy. I'm like,
I love it. With the quarantine, you can't get to go to your hairdresser or get your dyed hair. And so I just embraced the silver and went with it. And I really like it.
She's been very, very sassy.
Some of the ladies, like, it looks so amazing. On some of them, you're like, holy crap, we got to get in there.
Buy a box.
Oh, my
Buy
goodness.
a box.
Yeah. I said, before this, at like March, we were all in our 40s, and in November, we were in our 55s. It was crazy.
Happened like that, buddy.
We're aging like Obama. Remember Obama, like the last 4 years in office? He was like, oh, my goodness.
I didn't know it was going to be this tough. This is stupid.
Yeah.
So it looks great. You guys look great, and your show is fantastic. I love that you're helping people with their cooking and having fun with it. I've always thought you should have a show like this, though.
Really, Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I feed you a lot. When I always come with food when
you always have something good, and you enjoy cooking. And that's, I think, what's a great show is when somebody enjoys something. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We really do. And we've been feeding a lot of neighbors. We've been we fed 20 families for about a month. Nice. With a food bank that we did, a food bank drive through the show. Yeah. And then, we have neighbors. We have a neighbor who's a nurse, and she's on the front lines, and poor thing, she just goes through a lot. Her and her roommate are both nurses. So we take care of them. And it's just such a great way to connect with people.
You're a way better person than I am.
She is a way better person than me, too. I just ride her coattails with all this stuff, man.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you got mad at your dad. My dad was first one in here. That was awesome.
He's always the first one in, man.
He loves you and he supports you. My mom does the exact same thing.
Does she really?
I was like, oh my goodness, Mom. I'm like, just let me. I want to say some horrific things, and my mom's going to be in there.
Yeah. Well, in case for those of you that are watching or listening, Ian is a little blue, so you have to prepare for that. But
I love that.
But that's where all the fun is for me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Yeah, it's not. I don't like boundaries, and it's not that I'm blue. I just don't. My boundaries are very far.
Yeah.
My boundaries are. I don't like hurting people. That's that's my boundary.
Yeah, I've never heard you be mean.
Yeah. No.
You do talk to people. Like I said in the intro, you have incredible crowd work. And so, but it's always in a way that it never puts someone in a bad spot or a position to make them feel bad.
No, I don't. I think they come out to see us to escape, and I want to help them escape. It's funny, and sometimes people bring way more baggage than we ever expect them to. But But I don't. I would like to think that people get to escape when they come see us.
Yeah. Are you performing in front of live crowds yet?
Yeah. I've actually been doing quite a bit. There's a little club in Escondido, California, just outside of San Diego that their entranceway is a perfect room with no roof. It's a perfect room. Like it can hold about 100 people. It's got 3 walls on it. It's outdoors.
Oh, interesting.
It's got a stage. I should introduce you to them, Debbie. It is fantastic. And as long as there isn't a lockdown, they'll be able to keep going. And I've been going out there once a month and just
wow. And how are the audiences receiving you? Are they hungry?
Yeah, they're excited to be out and escape. I try not to do too much COVID, too much politics. I try to be their escape, right? Let people, people need to refresh their batteries. And I think we're important. Whether it be a musician, whether it be a podcast, we're important, so.
But we've all had our fill of COVID and politics. That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have to address sometimes the elephant in the room.
Right. Yes.
Hit it and quit it, know?
And also have fun with it.
Yeah. What else are you going to do? But you're one of the first people I know that got out there with a virtual show when this whole thing went down.
Yes.
That's right.
Almost stand-up, as I call it. Not quite stand-up is,
Well, you started with the Instagram thing, and I would get when the quarantine started, I turned notifications back on. Oh my God! Now you're way better looking now that you took the glasses off.
Way worse.
Can't see us though. So yeah, I saw you. I would get the notification. So you were just doing that one up sort of two people thing with the Instagram, and then that turned into a Facebook Live. How did that progress into what you ended up doing?
Well, at the time I was doing I do my podcast, and I started. Can I bring up the podcast that I'm doing, the Around the Bag?
Please, we want. Yeah.
So I do this. So all of a sudden, everything just stopped. That's how it happened for us. All of a sudden, we're just like cruising along, and all of a sudden, it just stopped. We all thought, well, we got a couple more weeks, and then we'll be fine, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll be back at it. But instead, what happened was it stopped, and then it just kept going. That's so I was like, within a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, we got to learn. I got to learn some things. So I thought, I'm going to learn how to podcast. I'm going to learn how to take care of my YouTube page. I'm going to learn how to actually create. And I know it's a corny word, community, but I'm going to create a Bagg, Bhagwan Rajneesh kind of thing, get my people, and that's
find your tribe.
We say that all the time, community.
Yeah. So, and I had an idea in my head for a long time, and it was with comics. It was just kind of like a pop culture, kind of like around the horn thing where they just answered questions out of my head for points. And the points, because I didn't have a scoreboard or anything, went from 0 to 1 billion and meant nothing.
Billions.
Yeah. So I started that. And I started on a platform called BeLive.tv. It turned out to be Russian, so I'm sure all my stuff is in Russian being used.
Sure.
And then I ended up on StreamYard, and then a guy started talking to me, and we started using another platform, which kind of makes it look like a TV show, which I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I kind of, throughout it, I've had people help me out. Yeah. And I started out, the first 3 months that I did it, I did every night except for like 5 nights a week. And I did 56 of them, or something like that.
Oh my God. Well, and can I just say, with that 56, for those of you who haven't seen it, you're booking 3 other people every single night. That's why it seems ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. And just trying to get 3 people a night for once a week is a chore. And I can't believe I was able to do it every night. And then sometimes people get, well, that person was on before. That person was, I'm like,
oh yeah,
shut up right now. So I started that. And so I was already starting to play. And then I started to play with the Instagram or talk to people, have this conversation, trying to keep my thing going. And then I was, my management team at the time had a studio. So they kind of helped me out. And they said, hey, why don't you try a live show? And I was like, what do you mean? I said, we'll do it on Zoom, to be invite only. You can play with them like you do in the club, and don't worry about it. And I'm like, okay. So it wasn't that quick. It wasn't okay. It was like, let me think about it. No, let me rethink about it. Let my wife call me a pansy. Go all throughout with that. And then in the back of my mind, I had a thing, and I don't know who said it to me a long time ago. Those most resistant to change are the first to be left behind. So I was like, I got to do something, even though it isn't stand up as we do it. I got to try it. So I tried it, and I had fun with it, and I didn't have fun with it. Like, it was really fun, but it kind of felt empty at the end.
Yeah.
So
I didn't have fun with it. I've done a couple Zoom comedy, and it's just not the same. Those dance steps aren't there. You throw it to the audience, and they throw it back, and you catch it, and it's almost like you're dancing. You're doing this step, and
the energy.
Yeah, the energy just isn't there. Or you're seeing people in their living room.
Right. It's funny. It's funny how it is. I best describe it as corporate. It's like a corporate show. Yeah. So I accept corporate shows because corporate shows are going to bomb anyway. So why not do it at home with no pants on? So
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But the energy's not there. And that's why I love my cooking show, because, and we're not mentioning them right now, but we get a lot of comments. We're getting a lot of comments. Somebody said, is he Canadian? I hear an accent. But we talk to our audience, and we literally sometimes are cooking with our audience. Like, how did you do that? Or what ingredient was that? Or one night we had a fail. We had an Instapot fail, and we actually had the audience talking us through how to save
one
this
of our
meal.
better shows, though, for sure.
Isn't it great when you can learn something from them? I've always loved that. When I do stand up
back in the day when I did stand up, get around. Let me tell you.
But when the crowd says something really funny, I love laughing. Like, some comics hate that, but I love when the crowd makes me laugh. Usually they strike out, but most of the time, when sometimes they'll make you laugh, and you're just like, how great it is. When you mesh that well, that your is as funny as you. That's cool.
Yeah. I tell you, the hardest you made me laugh. The hardest you made me laugh. We were at the Ice House watching you, and you said, comics have things that they sell after the show, like a T-shirt or something. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I remember. It's a true story.
He was really selling.
I've got a Jeep. I don't know why I lost it so hard, but you couldn't go on because I kept laughing. And then you said, Travis, control your wife, man. You're funny.
That was true.
I did sell that Jeep from a show, so just to let you know.
Oh, really?
So it works.
Oh, my gosh. And one time there was a little person in the crowd, and she was a stripper. Do you remember that one?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
You don't remember that was out in Ontario, and you even said, she's shorter than you, Debbie.
I do remember that.
But you definitely go all the way out on a ledge with them, and they go right with you. Yeah. And there's this likability to you. And I think it's you're not going to hurt anybody, and they sense that, and people just love you.
Yeah.
I think my crowd gets that, or the crowd. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm at a point yet where 80, 90% of the people are showing up to see me. I still think I'm around 45, 50% showing up to see me, but they get that I'm not above. I'm not trying to be above them or anything. That I'm one of them, and we're just having fun. So
right. Somebody asked a question. If you want to take a question, how much have you had to rework your act to accommodate to those online comedy shows?
A little bit. It works out because I now I just mock them about their houses. There's nothing better than somebody having one picture on the wall. I'm like, you just move in.
Oh my God, I'm looking at what we have in our house.
You guys, I thought that was a green screen when I first did it. What are you guys living in fancy pants land?
This is our kitchen.
Yeah.
This is where the magic happens.
That's weird. So I guess you cook in your bedroom?
So how are your dogs?
My father's watching.
How are your dogs, Miss Pearl and Lou?
They're pretty good. Lou's actually sick today. It was one of those. It was Travis texted me, and just as he threw up, he was like barfing all over the place. And
no!
Yeah, I was like, I'll get back to you in a second. So I was like,
no!
I don't know. Every so often, he's so funny. So we have the French bulldog, and then we have the rescue from the pound, and I get upset when I see people always like, adopt, don't buy dogs. Adopt, don't buy dogs. And if they have kids, I always have to ask if they adopted those kids. You adopt those kids, and then shut up about my dog. But Pearl is the French bulldog.
Yeah,
he can eat anything. Nothing phases her. Lou's like from the pound, but he's got to eat off. If he isn't eating off China, he's
That's like our dog, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Luna gets homemade or organic food.
That's that Lou Wood turns us away from organic. He's like, no, we're gonna need some more salt.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So in the spirit of your games, we have a game for you.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, your game show. You know how you have your quiz show?
Yeah.
So we're gonna this is the game that we're gonna do. So I'll check this out here.
You guys are talented.
So, how many funny Canadians can you name?
Well, first of all, we have to say that Ian is Canadian.
I am Canadian.
We're going to open this up, and Travis and I both have a number here that we think that you'll land.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to put mine here.
And we have. You think that?
Yes,
do they have to be famous?
No, but I'll tell you what. I have 5 pages of names in alphabetical order. You can't see this, so we'll know if you're just making up names. So don't try that bullshit here.
I want to mention Chris Halser, and I also want to mention Brian McConnell and Kip Lindsay. I grew up with all the guys I grew up with.
Okay.
Jamie Cousins, he was hilarious. So
okay, wait, when are we starting?
So the reason why I thought that was interesting is because all of my favorite funny people are from Canada. Oh. Ian Bagg, Devin Green. And then, of course, all the SCTV people.
You're going to give him ideas, and the ideas.
I'm trying to help him, man.
Okay.
You're my favorite comedian.
I know. You love him.
So there are a lot of funny people. Yeah. And once you start naming yours, we'll go through the list of some people that the audience may not realize is Canadian.
So how many minutes do you want to give him?
Well, for the duration of the show, just blurt it out right in the middle of a sentence.
Anything to keep bringing people up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, John Candy.
Okay.
All right. You guys had him on?
We'll put a ticker on there or something.
Yeah, okay. Who else? Dan Aykroyd.
Okay.
Yeah. Norm Macdonald.
Yep.
Women count double.
What's that? Women count? Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah. I love her. Are you watching Schitt's Creek?
I'm not, but I was talking to a friend today about how she's getting this. She was in Home Alone, and Home Alone apparently is getting all this new resurgence because of Schitt's Creek, because she was in Home Alone.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm sure she's been in everything. To be honest with you, she
right.
I can't believe. I swear she did that show as a favor to her friend Eugene Levy, another Canadian.
She did. Yeah, we watched the documentary about Eugene Levy.
Yeah, so I'm guessing she did it as a favor, and that's the thing that's going to soar her to fame.
Right. Yeah, actually, it was a 13-minute pilot. Yeah. Who knew pilots are 13 minutes now? And they're usually 22, right? Yeah, and so she did a 13-minute pilot, thinking it wouldn't go anywhere, and it went somewhere. And so the son was the one that gave a call. Yeah. What's the son's name?
Is it Dan Levy?
Yep. You've got another one.
It's funny.
He's from Canada too.
There's about 3 or 4 Dan Levys in comedy, and there's one from New York. And one day I thought I was talking to him at the gym, and I wasn't talking to him at the gym. I was talking to one of the guys from Saturday Night Live, who I thought was Dan Levy, and I just kept talking to him like I knew him, and the guy's just looking at me like I'm an idiot. And I'm like, oh, take care.
She was in Best of Show with Eugene Levy. Do you remember Best in Show?
So good. So good.
The best, right? Yeah. The best.
I'm trying to think of the other Canadians that were in that. Was there any other Canadians in Best in Show?
Were there? So one of our guests said Howie Mandel with a question mark.
Just give him answers.
Well, wait. Mike Bilbrey wants to know if Howie Mandel is Canadian.
Yes, he's Canadian.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
But I'm not going to give Ian points for that.
He was one of my favorites as a kid, like very influential on me. I felt like his comedy wasn't, he broke the fourth wall a lot in his comedy, and definitely influenced me. And when I started out at a club called the Punchline in Vancouver, and he came in there once after he did a show at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. He dropped in on the Late Show, and I was like just starting out, so I was doing like a 5-minute spot, and all of a sudden I was about to go on stage, and this guy's just staring at me because he's going to go on stage, and they're bumping me for him to go on stage, and it's Howie Mandel, and all I could say was, "I love you."
Oh God.
I love you.
Well, because of that, you have to give him that point.
I will.
Yeah.
So, how often do you do the Montreal Comedy Festival?
I've actually been blackballed by the.
Why? What did you do, Ian Bagg?
I've been invited twice because I'm a lady.
Congratulations.
What? No, what's the story there? Because you got to do. I mean, I saw somebody fart the national anthem with a lighter, and he's invited back.
I complained about money, and was vanished.
The T-shirt wasn't enough?
No, yeah, exactly. The flight up wasn't enough. No, I flew up from Los Angeles, and everybody else was paid in American money, and I was the only one that was, like, everybody else on the plane was paid in American money, but because I grew up in Canada, I was paid in Canadian, and I felt that was unfair, and I complained about it. And they
That's not a favored nations thing?
That's what I thought. I thought everybody got paid the same. I'm like, you're sending me Canadian money to an American address, and I'm on the plane with all these Americans that are getting paid in Canada. I have to pay my rent in American. So,
I'm really sorry to say this. You're getting paid for this show in Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
So
I'm doing a pilot for a 12-minute pilot for a game show, and I suggested that because they were trying to figure out money, like what to use for money, like whether it would be points or money. And I was like, at the beginning of the game show, they have to pick what currency they want to be paid in.
Pesos, that's
right. But you get it in American afterwards, but you get the like
Monopoly
5 cents on a dollar. You go look at the I thought it was stupid. They're like, people don't have that kind of time. You're an idiot.
Yeah, no.
I've done quite a few game shows, and the money has to be real. It has to, and there's so much integrity that goes on with that money. Like if you win $121.27, you have to count it out.
That's why they like points.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm trying to get them to go to points where you get the points and then you get to buy stuff afterwards.
Oh, like Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah,
Chuck E. Cheese, or the old Wheel of Fortune. You remember the old Wheel of Fortune?
Fortune. Yes.
I'd like to get steaks for a year.
Would Carrie Ann spin the wheel for you? Now standing the lovely Carrie Ann.
She get on. I'm not going on TV. I just want a Gucci purse.
She's so.
Just bring me the purse.
No, she's darling. No, does your mother-in-law? Because we saw the trailer for your show. Ian
get a job.
Ian get a job. Ian get a real job, which is your in-laws who don't really see what we do for a living as credible, and they're trying to give you a real job.
They think we eat nachos for a living, is what they think we do.
Yeah.
I mean,
my.
Yeah.
We eat buffalo wings too.
Yeah. Who doesn't? I have cheese sticks.
Zucchini fries.
She grew up in a small town in Virginia, and her family is in the aquaculture business, so clams and oysters and farming and stuff like that. So they decided that we came up with an idea where they thought I should come work for them, and then we went out and had a lot of fun and we just hung out with the family. The family was so good, they were just so in that presentation that you seen. My favorite thing in the whole thing was a line I wrote and gave it to a guy, and he's asking me about stand-up and asked me about all the comics. Have you ever met Chris Rock and like all that? And then he wants to know if I have medical, and he goes, "You got no medical? What if you get Bell's palsy?" What if you get Bell's palsy? I loved it.
That's hilarious. How about I show a clip from that?
I'd love it.
Let's watch a clip.
All right, you guys, check this out.
I'm Ian Bagg, and for the last 15 years, I've been a national touring comedian. I do well enough, but my in-laws don't think so.
I don't think a comedian's a real job. He talks about his balls for 2 hours a day.
I worry about his career, how long it's going to last, and how he's going to take care of my child.
And then there's my 2 brothers-in-law, Chris, who runs the clamming business.
Yeah, I'd love to be a porn star. If I wasn't clamming, wouldn't you?
And Daniel, who is a boat captain.
The hardest part of knowing Ian is that he's Canadian, and you really can't trust Canadians.
They've generously offered me a more secure path working in the family seafood business. It'll make my wife happy.
It's a great job, and I get to spend time with my family.
And give me some new material. And that's why I've decided to get a real job. Coming up this season on Get a Real Job.
Ooh. Get him some diapers and some Band-Aids, maybe.
I shot my finger off.
You have to give him directions like a 5-year-old.
Can you not poke into it? You have bony fingers trying to hurt me.
Hey Ian, I was thinking your uncle by marriage up in Richmond has a funeral home. Maybe you could go up and work with him a little bit.
Do I have to touch the bodies?
No, just make sure they don't move.
Monahans.
You lost your grandma, huh? Have you looked in the backyard? I didn't know what that clip. That made me laugh really hard because I actually shot the tip of my thumb off with a crossbow. I had it no way. And that part
really did.
Was it your microphone hand?
It was. No, it wasn't. It was this one. So it was a lot. But the funny part was that's real. My wife yelling, "He's like a 5-year-old. You got to pay attention to him. You got it." And I love my brother-in-law. He just puts his bows away. He's just like, "All right, we're out of here. This guy's missing a thumb. We're gonna get out."
We're done for the day.
We're done. We're not shooting.
So what is going on with this project?
It's done.
Is it? Oh, it did it sell?
Yeah. No, it didn't. It did for a bit, and then it didn't. It was one of those things that we did for A&E, and then all of a sudden there was a regime change.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, Wahlburgers was on the air, and we weren't. So I stole the footage and started putting it out there on YouTube. So it's awesome.
Yes, you do.
Why not?
Why not?
I think it's worth seeing. I think people need to see it. I think it's great.
It is. It's really funny.
So can we see longer episodes on your YouTube channel?
I'm trying to get some because we did 2 episodes, and there's some other funny stuff. So I'm trying to get it, and we'll see if we can get it.
Yeah, the clip that you sent was hilarious. I wish I could have shown the whole thing. I think it was like 12 minutes or 15 minutes or something. Yeah, it was really good.
And was that your idea?
Me and another guy came up with it. A company came up with it. Yes, it was 50-50 my idea. He moved on to a different company, and yeah.
I'm sorry, Ian.
There's a comment here. Our friend Mike says Linda's brother shot his thumb off with a crossbow also.
Oh, is that true? Is that true?
Mike is not a liar.
Mike's not a liar. He's a lawyer from Illinois, just as, you know.
The straight shooter.
A straight shooter.
Unlike Linda's brother.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. And I love the fact,
sorry.
I love the fact that you said a lawyer wasn't a liar.
It's true, right?
I'm like, Debbie.
We had to qualify that one. You don't know Mike Bilberry. He is one of the.
He's a nice guy, yeah. But I mean,
you have his own billboard.
Yeah, he wrote, "Yes, want to see a photo?"
Yes, Mike.
I just took the tip off. Mine, like it was just hanging, and now it's all back. So.
Oh wow!
Awesome.
I've never had an injury.
Well,
doing comedy.
I have to tell you.
You know, I did a game show, and it was this big reveal at the end. It was like a hidden camera show, and at the end, these couples could win thousands and thousands of dollars. And there was this really good-looking big guy who was always eating from the craft table, but never carried a boom or a mic or nothing, right? And so, but the end, when I did the big reveal, like, you were on hidden camera, he was like this close to me in every reveal. And finally, like 4 episodes in, I go, honey, who are you? Because he never carried equipment. He goes, oh, I'm your security,
when you have money.
Security guy.
Security guy. All those reveal shows. Because then I went and asked the guy that does Taxi, what is it? Taxi Cab?
Ben Bailey.
And Ben Bailey says, yeah, they have somebody there so nobody hits this. And he goes, because when you tell a civilian you've been on camera, they could just haul off and punch you, which they have. Yeah, so they could lose it. So all he did was make sure nobody
no one hit her.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I had security.
And the whole time she was saying that, I was just realizing you're only up to 7. And I'm very disappointed in you.
Because I could win at this point.
Now we need some more names from you for a funny Canadian.
7 for what? I was like, go 7 for okay, Jeremy Hotz.
Okay.
Oh, Jeremy. Yep. Jeremy's from Canada.
Jeremy is from Canada. Who else is from Canada?
Did you say Martin Bronstein? Or Mark Breslin?
Mark Breslin's not famous and not funny.
Is that the one you said at the beginning?
No,
not famous and not funny. Let's do unfunny comics. Who's an unfunny fuck? Let's talk about that one.
My nose started to run immediately as soon as I said that. He gave me COVID. Let's see who. Bonnie McFarlane. She's Canadian. She's very.
Bonnie is. She's very funny.
Mm-hmm. Russell Peters.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's Canadian. Who else? We got to keep going.
I need you to get at least 10 more.
Peter Jennings. Remember the old?
Really?
Yeah.
Peter Jennings?
Peter Jennings, the newscaster. He was
He's not funny.
He's hilarious. And also, he's also passed away, so he was hilarious. And also the guy from not 48 Hours, the guy who's the guy from the murder show, Keith Morrison. He's Canadian as well, and he's hilarious. There was a big night. And people went for a walk, but not everybody come home from that walk.
I would download his shows, and I would listen to them on the road, and sometimes I'd be like in the middle of like Jamaica, like somewhere where like in Central America, and nobody spoke any English whatsoever. And the hotel room was like no windows. You know, there was a place for a window, but no glass.
Right.
And just those kinds. You've stayed at those places before. Yeah. And there was Keith Morrison. It was a late night in Costa Rica. I'm like, no.
Would everybody be up late? Not everybody be up late, would they? You know, it's funny. We were watching one night. And I said to my wife, I know that girl. Like, she had been murdered. And I go, I know her and her husband, who killed her, used to come to my shows in Houston at the Improv.
Wow.
I looked it up on the internet, and I'm like, hey, look at this. She follows me on Facebook. Boom. Crazy.
What?
I was going to make
Some
a
people
horrible.
are laughing, but not everybody.
Okay, wait.
I was going to make a horrible joke, but I didn't.
This is kind of like being in a green room, you know, because then everybody's like, oh, I have a story. So my company's name is Mommycomic Inc.
Right.
And so what had happened is when I started like with Willie Barcena and Jeff Garcia and Gilbert Esquivel, just, you know, a bunch of Latinos. We go work these
Definitely not Canadian.
No.
We'd go work these teeny tiny little rooms, you know, and they were all like gang members and stuff. And so this guy was getting arrested during my set, big Samoan dude. And he goes, I want to see the mommy comic. I want to see the mommy comic.
And they had several cops pulling this guy out of there.
Yeah. And he's like, Mommy Comic, I love you. So then that was my gang name and my corporate name.
That's her gang name and now her corporate name. I've never heard that sentence.
One time we're watching the news and there was like a, you know, caution.
You have tattoos, like one tattoo on one cheek, Mommycomic, and
Mommy
then on
Comic.
She's got an asparagus on her right shoulder, right back here. It's
What does that mean?
It's food. It's a food. It was a bad joke. I'm not the comedian in the family.
You're
See?
not.
You're not allowed to, according to her. You know what is that? You doing a joke?
Oh, we got another question from our audience. Oh, somebody said Robert Stack. Is Robert Stack Canadian?
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was funny.
Well,
You know,
somebody asked.
Can I say one more? Can I say one more before we go to that?
Please,
question?
yeah, because
Rich Little,
Yes.
Canadian. Nobody does impressions anymore. Somebody wants to know what is the most memorable thing that occurred during a live show. I would say the murder thing. That would be.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
What is the?
Actually, I solved a murder when I first started out. I've told this story before. I solved a murder, but they didn't figure it out for many more years. But I got booed off stage. So check this out. So I'm starting out. I'm probably like 2 or 3 years in, and I go to Herb Dixon's room in Penticton, British Columbia, and
I feel like you're making up these names. Go ahead.
I'm not making up these names, and so in the newspaper I'd read, and this is a town of about 15, maybe 20,000 people, right? So it's a very small town, and not cluing in. You know, I'm living in Vancouver, so I'm not cluing in, and I go to the show, and I'm halfway through, and I started the story. I'm like, I'm reading this story in your guys' paper about a woman that was killed by a retaining wall, right? This is a true story, and so this has only been a couple days since this happened, right? But my joke was going to be, check the husband. There's no way anybody gets killed by a retaining wall. Murder solved, right?
Right.
Thinking no way in hell. Just a scream from the back of the room. That was my sister.
Oh shit.
So, and I'm just like new in comedy, and I'm like, boo, and the crowd booed. I'm like, you know, like that. And the guy Herb Dixon, the MC, comes back on. And he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, I didn't know she'd be here. Like, I didn't know the sister would be here. Like now in my head, I'm like, what are you doing at comedy 3 days after your sister gets hit by a retaining wall? That's what you do. You go drinking to a comedy show.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
That's how good Ian is.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but at the time, I'm just like,
oh my god.
But 3 years later, husband and new wife arrested for murdering woman with retaining wall.
New wife.
You knew.
And the new wife was the assistant at his office. Bum bum bum.
Ian Bagg's on the case.
And Keith Morrison.
Okay, we got a couple more questions here. Are your sets totally improvised around talking with the audience? And this is from Robert Snow, who saw you in Denver. And then we also got a comment from somebody who said, we saw you at the Houston in the Improv, but my husband hasn't killed me.
First of all, that is
she did say yet. She said yet too.
So the question is, are your sets totally improvised around talking with the audience? And then we have a couple more.
Okay.
From Rhea that said,
well, do you want to tell them or do you want to, because you're.
Let me answer the first one first,
Please.
because I forget. Sometimes I've been known to do complete sets with no material in them. Just having a conversation, with the crowd and it's not like I'm like, hey, nice shirt, you look like a loser. It's, it's I ask a question, they tell me a story, and all of a sudden I'm taking that story and creating more of a story out of it that's embellished, and I turn them into a character. I turn them into.
You say, "What do you do? What do you do, sir? What do you do?" I'm a Finnish constructor. Oh, you're Finnish, and then it just goes.
I turned into the Swedish chef.
You actually did that. That was a joke of yours that I remember, and I remember going to back shows to see you, and very little of that. And it was at the Ice House. Right. Very little of your act was repeated.
And I've had people, well, that's just stupid. I've heard you do 2 jokes before that are the same. And I'm like, well, you're kind of an ass.
Have you ever seen comedy before?
Yeah.
No, never see. First of all, you're judging all my other friends that do the same shows, and I don't like that.
Please. Yeah. I put the needle on the record. There you go.
Right. Yeah. There. But so I consider it, there's certain parts of my show that just set me back. Like not set me back, reset me. So I know, okay, I'm about 15 minutes in, do this, then we can turn and play the next. And so it's kind of like that. It's kind of like I have jokes that just kind of like road maps. So yeah.
I don't want to play the woman card. I'm a woman, but yeah, I'm a woman.
I play that card every day.
But being as small as I am, even on stage, you can tell I'm small, and I'm a female. So there's no fat in my act whatsoever. There's no talking to them. There's no interaction really. I ask a question, but know the answer. Right. So, and I've always been afraid to just open myself like that to the crowd, because I think they would be a little different with a woman.
It's funny. I'm the other way around. I'm afraid to rely on just me. So
we've got.
It's kind of a conversation. It's more of a conversation than a
conversation. So, yeah.
Which was the name of my last special, which you can find on Amazon Prime, or you can I don't know where else. Oh, Roku. You can find it Roku. It's called Conversations, Ian Bagg Conversations, an hour.
Did everybody hear that? Ian Bagg Conversations on Roku and Amazon
Prime, Roku, and I think iTunes, so Apple TV. And we redressed the Irvine Improv to not look like a comedy club, and shot it there. So.
Oh, wow.
I'll
have to check that out.
So a couple things. Have you heard of Ofria Eisenberg?
Yes, it's funny. I just I'm trying to get her for my show. So yeah, I do.
Because somebody in our audience obviously is a fan and recommended or said her name, and Alex Trebek.
Alex Trebek is definitely Canadian, and and was a funny man, and just
So go ahead and give him 2, even though Rhea gave him the answers. We want to get him closer to my number.
He's confirming.
Yes.
And then somebody who saw you in Denver, Robert Snow, said that your interaction it was all interaction with the crowd. It was hysterical. Robin Todd Comer said you can see him over and over again, and it's always different. Second Tuesday of the month at the Comedy Club.
So when we all get our shot, and we're all our 2 shots, and we're all feeling better, I will be there. Before what was the first Tuesday of every month, and we'll see. Like who knows what's going to survive? I'm terrified to see.
I know.
We're gonna do some grinding for a couple of years, and don't be afraid to grind. So.
Yeah.
Right now, I've been doing a show. We're shut down in LA again, but I've been doing a show at D Piazzas in Long Beach. I do an outdoor show, and I've done about 4 of them, invited from friends. and we just go outside, and two people come down, and we all split the money that we can have up to 70 people there, and we split the money that comes in. And
wow, 70 people, that's a good crowd.
Yeah, it's a good crowd, and it's
that is a good crowd. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's it's awkward, like it's not set up. And I've been going to, I know you asked this question earlier, but I've been going to Ahmed. The Med's got the Venice Comedy Compound, which is at a mansion kind of in Venice, and it's great. You're the comic.
Is that with the pool?
Yeah. Pool in between.
Yeah, so great. So I think it's probably going to be like that until maybe before clubs start coming back. I would say July. It's just going to be, we got to do what we got to do. So
yeah, my first date on the books is February.
I'm going to Salt Lake City this weekend, and I'm absolutely terrified.
Yeah, Utah? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
What's wrong? Don't go to Utah.
I'm going for 2 days, and I'm just like, I'm not selling merch. I'm just going to go on stage.
No, wear a body condom.
Yeah. I went to Alaska in October. And holy crap.
How did you get there?
By flew, and I've never felt more calm flying. Like they had everybody spaced out. Alaska does a very good job. So
wait, yes. I hear the planes are wonderful. The HIPAA filters, the way they clean them, blah, blah, blah. But what people are saying, the experts are saying, it's the airport that is.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. Once I got to Seattle, I'm just like trying to get away from everybody. That's all I was trying to say with everybody. Like I had an hour where I had to like wait for my next plane, and I was like, So yeah. And I'm flying out of Long Beach this week, so that's it's an outdoor airport. So
you can wait outdoors on that one. Yeah. In the 1960s.
But once I got up to Alaska, it was crazy. Like my first show was in this little town in the middle of nowhere, and I was the only one wearing a mask, but they were kind of spread out. Nobody was wearing a mask. A couple people wore them after the shows, but not during the show. The lady that was giving my rides, the guy who was the promoter, his mom didn't believe in it, even though she was a nurse and just had a heart attack a couple months ago. And you don't need to wear a mask. And I'm like, yes, I do. The second night, nobody wore a mask. It was indoors and just packed. There was a restaurant outside, and then the ballroom, which was packed, and nobody had a mask on. Get this, they had a buffet.
Oh my God.
You went from an audience where one person killed one person to an entire audience who's killing each other.
And, it's fine. And you're just like, oh. And then the next night I go, and there's like, we're going to only have 65 people in here. Oh, fine. So we're going to do 3 shows. No, we'll do 2 shows. 65 people wearing masks. Everybody believes it. I'm just like, oh, okay. So,
And this was in October.
This was in October.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Jeez. We got a couple more that people are naming that are Canadian. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Mad TV. Famous artist now.
Mad TV. I will go with the
No, not Mad TV.
Jim Carrey. Are they talking about Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey, yeah.
Jim Carrey, that was. But the guy that was on Mad TV, that is, and I'm blanking on it. He's got his own sitcom on ABC now. Why am I blanking on his name? He's absolutely hilarious. He was
Single Parents.
Does it sound like? Is it like Will?
Yes. Will Sasso.
There you go. Right.
Will Sasso. Oh, okay. Somebody said Will Shatner. Is William Shatner.
William Shatner is Canadian, and the funniest Canadian there is. Who else?
William Shatner.
Yeah, is not funny at all.
Oh, but okay. Yeah,
no. He is. Also, who else is Canadian?
And Ian, by the way, when this is all over with, you have to award us points based on how close we got to how many you actually answered.
You guys are very impressive so far. I'm impressed how many Canadians you know.
Thank you. I cheated.
Richard Blaine's a guy I grew up with. Hilarious. Richard Blaine's. He's not going to be on there. He's still in my hometown. Missing a tooth. He's a good guy. What's his face from?
He said Danik.
What's his face from Superbad?
Yep. What is his face?
What is his face? Why am I blanking on it?
Does it sound like
Seth Rogen?
There you go.
There we go.
Seth Rogen.
Also, Loverboy. Loverboy was also the band Loverboy is from Canada.
Were they funny?
Very funny band, right?
Funny band. A band wearing leather pants after they shouldn't be wearing leather pants.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
Harlan Williams.
Harlan Williams, yes. Harlan Williams.
I love him. He's crazy though.
Richard Conemacher says Shatner's spoken word albums are unintentionally hilarious.
Rocket Man. I'm gonna be gone a long, long time because I know.
No,
man.
Oh my God,
That's actually pretty good. I remember I got my wisdom teeth pulled when I was about 22, 23.
we all did. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they gave me the drugs, all of a sudden Rocket Man was playing.
Did you sing along? Who took you to get your wisdom teeth pulled?
I think my roommate did. It was one of those things. Now my wife has to take me I just turned 50 and I have to get the other thing done. The other end's got to get pulled.
Oh yeah. No, they give you a great drug. They give you that Michael Jackson drug.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great drug.
Exactly it's a good one.
Yeah.
Propanol. Remember?
Yeah.
Man, they knock you out mid-sentence. You have to drink like gallons of that horrible thing.
I don't know. I'm going the next month or so. I'm going.
You're the big 5-0?
Yeah.
What'd you do for your big 5-0?
I got stuck in a pandemic
quarantine.
Oh, yeah. I had my big 6-0, big 60.
You're kidding. God.
No.
I'm old, but I look good. But Travis turned my birthday party into a food drive for Maximum Hope, which is a charity we support.
I feel like we have the same birthday. Do we have the same birthday?
You're the 10th?
I'm the 6th.
Of July.
November.
No, I'm closer
you were a July
to
baby. I'm
I
July.
I can't give anything else. This is how they take your insurance.
Yeah, and what was
your
the last
mother's maiden name
of your?
Yeah. Ooh, no.
We're almost ready here to wrap this up, and I want to read some of these, but I want to give him an opportunity to help me win.
Okay.
Because I have you at a certain number, and he has you at a certain number.
I'm guessing more comics.
You're at 18, so you passed what I thought.
Funny Canadians.
Woman, a woman. And why are Canadians funny?
Yes, why? Is it the snow?
Is it the water? Is it the money?
No, I think it's because we sit above you and we watch things.
Wow.
We're able to tease you guys about that, and then we also have a little bit of the British. We have the little bit of the British sense of humor as well, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you mix the American with the British humor, you get a really good, hybrid of those both. And I think that's Canadian comedy. I think that's what it is. Lauren Michaels, very famous.
Yeah, he's in there. Write it down.
I'm just trying to think. Oh,
do you know our friend Devin Green?
I don't. Colin Mockery. Colin Mockery's Canadian.
Yep, he's in there.
He's in there.
I think Ryan Stiles is Canadian. He definitely lived in Vancouver forever.
Okay.
Ryan Stiles sounds like he would be with the accent.
Let's give it to him just in case.
No, then you're gonna win.
Stiles, it's there. Look, Ryan Stiles.
You got it.
Yeah, because those guys from Whose Line It Anyway?
Yeah.
Is there another Canadian on that one?
Colin, Ryan. I don't think so.
I don't think that.
One more, and you hit Travis's.
One more. I'll get it by the end. I'll think about
okay.
Come on, you son of a bitch.
Come on. I'm trying to think if there's any Canadians that it really influenced me. A guy named Glenn Foster was really funny, and he's a comedian.
Faulkner.
What's that?
Ryan Faulkner.
Tom Green.
Oh, Tom Green.
Tom
yeah,
Green.
That's
there we
22. Go. Bing, bing, bing. How about Mike McDonald? Did you ever work with Mike?
I loved Mike.
I loved Mike.
We started off in a really bad place. I was a young comedian, and he was going through a bad time, and we didn't get along. And then we ended up spending 4 weeks in Australia, and I fell in love with him.
He was hard to get along with.
He was hard to get along with.
He was a little curmudgeon, yeah.
But it broke my heart. And you know what? He used to send me the nicest messages, saying, Ian, just, keep going. You're so good. He just used to always send me these messages. And I feel horrible for not mentioning him in this, because I should have mentioned Mike. He was absolutely hilarious. And
he's the one you ended with, and that's important.
Yeah.
He was a good guy.
He was a good guy, and he lived life. He lived life. He played a lot of things. Yeah. Good guy.
Well, let me. I'm going to read. I'll read a few of these, and of course, we've got some more on the top. But I did some of the more notable, the ones that us Americans would know anyway.
Did you guys say Michael, Sarah, and Ryan Reynolds?
Not yet.
That came from
No.
the Conamockers.
I didn't know Michael Sierra.
Sarah. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
He
You know who else?
turned a girl into a boy, right?
Ellen Page.
He
Ellen
turned
Page.
a girl into a boy?
Yeah, he was in that movie with her. He turned her. And it's funny because if you watch that movie, you look at it, you go, that guy's going to turn into a girl. Not that girl's going to turn into a guy.
That's Ellen Page. She's Elliot Page now.
Yeah, people will cancel me for this.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking. She came out as trans today. All right, we're going to go.
We have a trans kid.
It's the only way to live.
Yeah, we have one, and it's funny because I did.
We have one.
We have one.
We
and it's so funny because these gender reveal parties, I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Waste of time.
But you know, it was kind of hard for us to wrap our head around. And then I took it into the comedy world, and it took 2.5 years to really craft a set that just kind of captured that. You know, you're still a mom, you're still a dad, you still want the best for these people. And, you know, and this kid was like, oh, you know, I'm going to have to claim disability because I'm a woman. I'm like, what? You put on your damn high heels like mommy and you go get a job.
Yeah. I remember being very proud of you because you have a religious side, and I was worried about you.
Well, no longer.
I remember you went through a lot, and I remember just thinking that's those are parents. That's the way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You follow your kid.
Yeah, they asked us to pick between, and we said family first. Yeah. They asked us to leave.
We left the church.
Thanks for cheering us up. We were shunned. We were shunned.
No, we're not. We're like heathen missionaries. We go out into the world, and
we love Jesus, but I drop the F-bomb like it's a fucking dinner napkin.
And I'm Buddhist now, so
that's changed. I remember the days. I was scared about saying fuck on this thing, but no, I'm gonna lay him down. You should be hanging with Leah Remini. That's who you should be hanging with.
Let me see. Is
famous
Leah Remini on there?
No, that's a Scientologist.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Let me go through a couple of these. Tommy Chong, by the way, is Canadian.
That's crazy, right?
Pat Bullard, of course. John
Pat
Kennedy.
Bullard.
I said Pat Bullard earlier.
Samantha Bee.
Oh yes, and her husband.
Samantha Bee.
Have you watched? She's got the. She used to be on the Daily Show, and now she's got her show on
Wednesdays.
Yeah. How about? Have you ever seen her husband's show, the Detour?
No.
Oh my God, so good.
We got to try that.
We got to try that.
And you can get it all now and watch it and binge it. You will get to me because get some. I just remember that. Get some.
Detour. I'm gonna write that
Very
down.
Canadian. He plays hockey in it and everything. He's very Canadian. Jason something.
All right,
speaking of hockey, Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. I forgot.
Yeah.
That shaky son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Speaking of dead comedians, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman was Canadian. My goodness, it's amazing.
Must be in the water.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen wasn't a comedian. He was a serious actor.
But he was hilarious.
That's why he was so great in that. And at the end of his career, he started doing those, and he was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer, hilarious.
Yep. Let me see.
Mort Saul.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have said American.
Wasn't his show all about running for president? Like, wasn't that what he was all about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You can't become president if you're Canadian.
Are you thinking of Paul
Saul? Paul Saul?
No.
Paul Saul?
No, I know who you're talking about. That real sad looking face. If any of our audience knows, he was running for president. Paul something. Martin Short.
Murray Langston.
Short is one of the funniest people ever to be born on this planet.
Yeah.
You know,
do you know who Maury Langston is?
Yes, the unknown comic.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Harlan Williams.
We said him. We love Harlan.
Let's see. Alan Thicke.
Alan Thicke. I should have said I did his show and played hockey. Oh, Alan Thicke. So funny and so talented and so just, hello, I'm Alan Thicke, and tonight we're going to have a good just so. Hello,
he did like a Pat Paulson. That's who it is.
That's who
Pat
I thought.
Paulson. Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Ross Perot said.
Ross Perot wasn't. I don't think. So I got closer to the number, so you have to award points to me and Debbie. Debbie guessed how many?
15.
and I guessed that you would answer 22 funny Canadians.
You think I know more than Debbie. Debbie just thinks I'm a dummy. Debbie thinks I'm a dummy. Don't know.
I love you.
I know you.
I love you, Ian Bagg.
I love you.
I love you. We used to share Weight Watcher points. Speaking of food,
I'm on those right now on the points.
Are you? So because it's a food show, I said, I'd love to bring this back around to food, like ask you some questions about comfort food or what's in your fridge or who's cooking. And I told Travis, way back when, before Weight Watchers was online, Ian and I would talk about points and how many this was worth and how many that. Because when you're on the road, one buffalo wing is all your points.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
so you're back on the Weight Watchers.
I'm back on the Weight Watchers, and it's I feel better when I'm on it, and I just skid it out of control for a decade. No,
I'm a big fatty. I'm a big fatty.
What is that? I better eat that.
Are you so have you gained weight during the
No, I've done okay.
Yeah.
Actually, during the holidays or COVID. I'm sorry.
During COVID.
Both.
COVID, I did, and then all of a sudden I just stopped about October. I was like, all right, we got to get back on. That's what made me go back on points. And then last week, my wife decided that we were going to have a huge Thanksgiving, and we were going to have enough food to have 18 people here, and we were only going to have our friend Candace over.
Is Candace a big eater?
Candace is a small Asian girl, but she can eat like it's a hot dog contest. And she can win.
Watch the thing.
My wife, when she has something in her mind, it's gonna happen. Like she's like, we need a turkey. I mean, we need a turkey. So I brought home an 11-pound turkey, and
that's nothing.
I got motherfucking like you wouldn't believe. I'm like, there's 3 of us, and that turkey didn't get finished. Just to let you know. So I was just like, shut up with a turkey. And she thinks we're going to do it again for Christmas. But I'd like what you were saying, the one pot thing. Because if you do the one pot thing, you put everything in that sounds like it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. We're playing around with the idea of doing pajama Christmas. And because everybody has to stay home again, right?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about just having breakfast foods on hand. Like bagels and some cold ham from the night before, right? And maybe a breakfast casserole or something. But cinnamon buns.
I'd like to do 3 days of it. I'd like to do the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th.
Everybody wear pajamas.
Breakfast and then a lunch, and then the next day.
Yeah. And everybody eats on either a paper towel or over the sink or a paper plate. I have spoken.
Do all the kids come over to your house? You got
just one lives in our bubble. So one lives in Pennsylvania and one lives in our bubble.
Oh, I didn't know one was in Pennsylvania. I didn't know.
Well, our oldest got married on get this date. She picked Pi Day.
Pi Day.
March 14th.
March 14th. Not
so
to be confused with 3/12, which is my dad's birthday.
Oh, is it? But do you remember March 14th, Ian, in San Francisco, Northern California?
What happened?
Lockdown at midnight. So this poor thing, we were giving away booze at her wedding. Like, just take it. We're giving away food. We're giving away cake. It was the most beautiful wedding, though. Their venue changed 3 times in 24 hours. Just canceled and then picked up by somebody else. Canceled, picked up by somebody else. And it turned out to be the most beautiful wedding. We had people on Zoom when Zoom was new. Nobody really knew what Zoom was.
People enjoyed it still.
And we drove home and we drove. In like 5 minutes to midnight, we were taking things out of the venue because it was like lockdown.
Yeah.
And then drove home, and we were in quarantine ever since. And it's the last time I talked to her or hugged her or kissed her.
Well, we talked to
the world.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go get locked down. You go live.
And she moved to Pennsylvania, where it's snowing. A California girl.
For her,
and it's interesting on our show because we talk to people.
Why Pennsylvania?
That's where he's from. Go Pirates, go Steelers, go.
What town did they move to?
No idea.
A little tiny town where there's a stream that's named after his family. It's just middle
small.
America. And it's interesting to talk to people who live all
royalty.
It's interesting to talk to people from all over the country and the way they're handling COVID differently. We had a couple come on from Texas, and they were talking about how it was like with you in Alaska, and then same thing in Pennsylvania. It's just very lackadaisical.
I've gotten some hate mail about my beliefs. through this. I've been told to go home to Canada and stuff like that.
Why?
Oh, just there's some people out there that hate. It's I believe this. I believe I wear a mask because at the end of the day, there's two choices. If you don't wear a mask, you might kill somebody. If I wear a mask, I'll try this again. So if I don't wear a mask, the worst thing that can happen is I can kill somebody, right? If I don't wear a mask.
Pretty bad.
Right? The worst thing that can happen if I do wear a mask, I look like an idiot. So what do I do? What are my choices? I'll just look like an idiot. I don't care. I'll wear the mask. And I do believe that people have problems with the masks. I do believe it because I have put on masks and taken a big breath and all of a sudden gotten lightheaded. And I'm like, what's going on? I swear sometimes they're not clean. You know what I mean? That stuff comes out of it and goes into your lungs. You kind of have to air them out a little bit, you know?
You have to wash them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm talking the ones you get right out of the package. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're washing asbestos.
Yeah. Something, oh my goodness. I remember I took a big breath when I was like, ooh.
I'm thinking about, the stage, and I'm looking into buying gloves that match. You know how I dress with my little dresses and my high heels, and I'm getting mask and gloves to match because those mics are dirty to begin with.
Well, how about the fact I own a mic now?
Yeah.
I never owned a mic. I've been doing comedy for 20-something years, and I've never owned a mic. How did I not get a disease?
Right? Because those mics smell and they're dirty and they're bumpy.
With those gross people, open mics. The people come in and do open
and they're
mics.
hitting their head and they're revving their bodies. And when I opened for Puppetry of the Penis, yes, I did for 8 months, Puppetry of the Penis, I saw them do their thing with their penis and then they would touch the mic and then do their thing with their penis and then touch the mic. And so I didn't. Oh, it was awful. So then my manager got in there and my lawyer, and they wrote in that I had to have my own mic and it had my name on it, had a little ribbon on it. And I just had to do my thing and then go home. I didn't have to stay backstage with them or anything because they were just naked men running all over the place.
The twiddlers.
Yeah. Yeah. And they made so much money. So much money. You can see a naked guy anytime you want. Can I see it?
I don't know why I got to say that to me. That was a weird thing to bring up with me. Ian, you can see a naked man. I know I'm handsome, but you don't have to mention that.
No, but I'm saying men have to pay to see a naked woman for the most part. But
hey, if you just ask, you just say, "Hey, can you get naked for me?" All right. No.
Yeah, all right. Here. Can you make something with it? Bonus points.
My buddy Friendy, David Friendy, is one of the guys that started Puppetry of the Penis. He's the
He's the
original. Yeah. My wife loves him because he wears his old weirdo suits, and then he gave for our wedding. He sent us all the DVDs.
Oh my god!
They did millions of dollars in merch.
So much
that people wanted to.
You guys,
okay,
that's a great wedding gift.
So let's wrap this up and let's talk about. I have a couple questions about cooking.
We're going to talk about where I'll put up on the screen while you do that, where Ian's at here. You can ask him about your cooking, but I want to make sure everyone can find him.
So now everybody, you can see there where you can find Ian, where you can get him on his social.
Hopefully they don't get too bored. If I'm on, I love Instagram. I love posting on Instagram.
Does Miss Pearl have her own Instagram?
She does have Mini Pearl Bagg is
Mini Pearl Bagg is a beautiful
with 2 G's.
And by the way, Reese Witherspoon the other day named her dog Mini Pearl. So just to let you know, she takes after the Bagg family.
What?
She's copying.
Her dog is a French bulldog.
She likes bullies. Bully breeds.
But I love that. I did start TikTok. TikTok makes me very uncomfortable. It's just young girls with not much on, and I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but this is and then guys yelling about Trump. It's so bizarre. It's just so bizarre.
Weird.
No, I'm not interested. I post every so often on there. I feel like it's very close to Snapchat, and I don't enjoy either of those.
Yeah.
Twitter, I don't really get any traction on. I have Sir Bagg.
Yeah, I've seen you on Twitter. Yeah. But I just follow Twitter for news. Like Twitter, like for our city, so that way we know if something's on fire.
Right. I just don't. I feel the people that follow me have never purchased anything to make my career better. So except for, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, and not that I need you to purchase anything, but I give free tickets away, and you still haven't even accepted those. I don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
right.
So yeah, and then Facebook is my mom's favorite thing, and my mom. This is a cooking show. I'll bring it. So my mom posted this thing the other day. Has anybody tried Reese's peanut butter cup with mayonnaise? She just posted this thing, and I'm like,
together.
Yeah, and I don't. She won't tell me. She says she got it from somebody else, and I'm like, Robin, did you try it? Like, I'm like, didn't I call my mom Robin when I'm mad at her? Robin, did you try it? And she's like, I didn't try it. And I'm like, I think she might have tried it. The first thing I put on her page when I seen it was get off the internet immediately.
Yes, right now.
So listeners, if you can put in the comment section, has anybody heard of, and
I'm guessing it's
Reese's peanut butter cups with mayonnaise?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't think.
No, thank
So
you.
Ian, what is your couple food questions, and then we should wrap it up. What is your favorite comfort food?
Oh, goodness. I love pizza.
Do you?
I love it.
You're not tired of it from the road?
I'm going to whisper. I love it.
Yes.
What do you like on it?
A good cheese pizza. It can be fantastic. Meat lovers, of course, is stupid. Veggie. I love a good vegetarian pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good cauliflower crust pizza.
Oh, crust.
There's
What's the point?
What's that? It's pretty high. It's like probably about 8. Like I can't have it. Right now, the things that I miss while I'm on Weight Watchers, I miss cheese. Of course, you can't have much cheese. You can have a little bit of cheese, but pizza and peanut butter. I miss peanut butter because those things are
those are big. The peanut butter powder just doesn't do it.
Yeah.
But Ian, back to pizza. Do you order it in? Is there a favorite club you like, or do you make it at home?
There's a place called Ian's Pizza in Madison, Wisconsin that I love to go to. It's for college kids pizza, and it's just fantastic. And it's got my name on it, so I love to go there. But the cauliflower pizza that we get from Costco, and I'm blanking on the name of it, but it's like a veggie cauliflower pizza in there, and it comes in a 2-pack, and it is so crispy. That's what I love about it. It's like really crispy, and it's really good. Oh, look at me! I'm starting to water my mouth. Popcorn is really good too. I love popcorn.
And it's good.
How do you like your popcorn?
I like it. I don't like it good for you. I like it home style popped. You know what I mean? Home style from just like lots of butter. And,
You mean in the popper, like the whirly pop?
Nope. In the microwave, the home style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we make it on the stove.
There's also some good. There's some good. If you go to a movie theater that isn't a chain, chances are you will have some like ridiculously good popcorn.
I love movie popcorn or Target popcorn.
She does.
Oh, yeah.
Target has good
I like
popcorn.
it with nothing but just a little salt.
Really?
Yes.
There's a place in Canada called Colonel's, and they do all the flavored ones. I don't know if you guys ever had the flavored popcorns before, but that's pretty good. They got
the reds, the blues, the yellows. You've had it. I've given it to you.
Okay.
The sour cream and onion, the dill pickle, the
this thing you put on top of it.
Yeah, but they make it there, so it's already flavored.
Oh yeah, because you can get kernels in different flavors and colors.
Oh really?
Yeah, blue and black and red and yellow, gold.
I don't know if it's flavored as much as what he's talking about, like dill.
Yeah, he's talking about the seasoning. Yeah. Okay, and who's doing the cooking at home right now? Because we're all home cooking. So who's cooking?
I help out a little bit. And it's mostly Carrie Ann. Sometimes I can tell she's done. Just like she's done, so I'll do some cooking. I like to make a good. So we get a heart of palms for the noodles. I'll do that, and then I will get 99% turkey breast, like the ground turkey breast. I'll cook that up, and then I'll make a spaghetti sauce. There's an expensive spaghetti sauce that I like to go to at Ralph's and get, and when it's on special, I'll buy a couple bottles of it. It's got a little bit of a
and the ground turkey, that's 0 points.
0 points, and a heart of palms for the noodles, 0 points.
So what's a hearts of palm noodle?
It's just hearts of palms, and then they just cut it into noodles.
Oh, wow!
And it's put in. It's like.
Does it taste like a vegetable?
Very little, because I also like the spaghetti squash, the roasted spaghetti squash.
I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, so take your cut it in half, salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil on there. Roast it there for about 45 minutes. You get a nice little coat on there. Scrape. It looks like spaghetti noodles.
That sounds good.
And then you put marinara on top?
Get marinara on top, yeah.
What? I'm going to try it, because my listeners do say you should try zoodles, and I just haven't yet. Yeah.
Zoodles are that's a zucchini one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. If I think yes to those, but if the roasted spaghetti squash, I think you'll enjoy.
We roasted butternut squash the other day in chunks, and we made a salad with mixed greens, the butternut squash roasted, pomegranate seeds, candied walnuts, pumpkin seeds.
Very good.
And with a pomegranate dressing with gorgonzola cheese.
Yes, very good.
My wife makes a dressing with just Dijon mustard, olive oil, and apple cider vinegar.
Isn't that what you made? Something similar.
I make that dressing too. Yeah, so good. Just now I want to go eat.
So
somebody wrote Hearts of Palm. Diana, our friend up the street. Somebody said Disneyland has good popcorn, and then Richard Kanemacher said, "I've got the perfect stovetop homemade popcorn recipe." He does. Yeah. We've had it. Hearts of Palm are good addition to salads too, right out of the can, sliced.
These ones come in like not a can. They're spaghetti noodles. They also have lasagna noodles. I don't know the company. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I was like, what the hell is this going on?
The package.
Did you open the packaging?
It's a package that's good for the environment kind of thing.
Okay.
So, and it's And I was you just put it in. You don't have to heat it up or anything. It just goes in there and heats up right in the pan. It heats up.
I'm going to try that, Ian Bagg.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to call you and tell you if I loved it.
Send me a message. Say, hey girl. I say, hey girl.
Hey girl.
Hey girl.
You make me laugh, Ian. So we put up Where We Can See You, and tell us again, the show that's on.
The show is called Around the Bagg.
Around the Bagg, 2 G's.
And it's just it's on. I prefer if people follow it. It's on YouTube. It's on Ian Bagg Comedy Channel on YouTube. It's live at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays Pacific Standard Time, or you can just watch any of them anytime. This week I've got Neil Brennan and Mary Mack. I can't remember who my other guest is.
You get good guess.
And next week I have Tom Segura, and from the hockey world we got Paul Bissonnette from Spit and Chicklets podcast. So it's we got 2 big weeks coming up, and
that's great.
Are you guys going to take a break for Christmas? Because we're gonna do the 16th, and then we're gonna take a break until the first week of.
We're doing the 22nd, I think.
Yeah, and because it's a cooking show, we're going to be talking like Christmas cookies and desserts and how to celebrate Christmas in a pandemic. Because we try our hardest to let our listeners know it's time to stay home and protect yourself and protect others. And it's going to look different this year, but let's embrace it and let's take that power back instead of, I can't do this. Take your power back. Yeah. Spend the day in your pajamas. Eat what you want. Don't put up a tree if you don't want to. It's, you don't have to do anything this year that you get pressured to do, because it's a high pressure holiday. And
both
so
Thanksgiving and Christmas are, and it's great if you don't have to travel. You say, I take it. Don't go overboard. Just sit home and watch some great Christmas movies, and maybe take time out from shopping too. Like maybe don't go overboard on shopping, and just say, hey, let's do a trip next year when we can all travel again.
We can all travel.
Save up for it. Yeah. Like you said earlier about community, that's really what this show is. The cooking show is about building community through food, and a big influence on me anyway. Anthony Bourdain, No Reservations, and his whole thing was traveling around the world and connecting with these cultures through food. Mm-hmm. And so we, in a little way, pay homage to him in that we are doing something similar through the show that we're producing, and that's why we like doing it live and connecting with people on the comments. But
here's what I want to happen on your guys' show. This is what I'd love to see. I would love to see that your guys' show ends up on TV and it looks like this, but companies send you're talking about Anthony Bourdain. I would get something at the door just before I came on the show, you guys would have the same thing, and we would eat together.
Yeah.
That would be a fun thing.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then you could talk about, oh, I would have done this different, or I would have done that different. I love just sitting and talking with you guys and talking about food and just everything, life. I think you guys are great people, and I love how in love you guys are with each other. And, you guys are one of those relationships that people look at and go, I'd like to be like them. That'd be good.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thank you.
I wish my wife would stop beating me.
Your wife is adorable.
She is.
She's like one of those beautiful butterflies that stings.
I'll bet she doesn't put up with your shit, though. I do imagine that.
Do you make her laugh?
Sometimes, not as much as people think I do.
I know people think that you're making your family laugh the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it must be fantastic. He must make you laugh all the time. Man, no. But I hear her laugh when I'm on stage, and it makes me like, that's when she shows up to a show and she laughs. That's makes me happy.
Oh,
she doesn't.
That's very cool.
And I love it that she doesn't come to many shows. Like I really do. I'm like I in a person I wanted a very independent person, and I found that in her. She's very independent. Like she wouldn't let me. I had to fight to pay for things. I had to. When we first started dating, and she just went like, I don't need you. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that in a person. And she was funny. Like she told me her dad was black. She like, and I just see how I responded, like she's like, my dad's black. And I'm like, I don't really care. Like that's, I remember, I'm not fucking your dad.
Was she vetting? She was vetting you?
Yeah.
She was vetting you.
She was seeing how I'd respond, She just like, you want to, and then I remember one of the first times we went out, I walked her to a car, and she stopped at a Range Rover, and then I was waiting for her to get in. She wouldn't get in. She goes, "Okay, you can go." And then I walked away. Kind of watched her, and then she walked up to the Honda Accord in front of the Range Rover.
That's funny. I like
She is a delight.
She'll afford me. Meow, meow.
She is a delight, and what she does is very, very important for our community right now, and for her clients. And
she's a good person.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, she's a good person. Pardon me?
I'm pretty sure I'm a case study.
You'll know by the paperwork.
Yeah,
after she talks to you, and then she's like, I need to go.
I took her to home for Christmas a couple of years ago to where I grew up, and there was a doctor there that was my doctor when I was a kid that had moved away, and my mom worked for that doctor forever, and he moved back, and my mom and him were friends, and in the meantime, him and his wife had a kid, and they brought this kid back, and they had me meet. They wanted me to meet him, so I met him, and me and this kid had a conversation, and he was. My wife's like, they're trying to diagnose you. That's what they're trying to do. They were seeing how far on the spectrum I was compared to this kid. If he was more, and I'm like, I'm not autistic.
Hang out with my kid.
Yeah, I was like, why am I being diagnosed?
You're a blind study. Thank you very much.
I was like, and that was when I found out I was autistic.
On the spectrum.
So.
Oh my God.
On the spectrum. We're all a part of the prism. Meow, meow.
Yeah. Meow, meow. Are you sure you don't know Devin Green? That's her thing.
She's
really?
Yes.
Mine. People think I'm going meow meow, but mine's like when cars go by. Meow meow.
Oh, okay, got it.
Meow meow.
Must be a Canadian car.
It must be. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Ian, I love your comedy. So for those of you that are watching or listening, and if you haven't had the chance to see him, you've got to check him out live. But in the meantime, make sure that you go to his YouTube page to check out Around the Bag, because that is incredibly funny.
New episode tomorrow.
A lot of talented people. Mm-hmm. He's doing it once a week now, and on
Wednesdays.
Incredible. Yeah, on Wednesdays.
Yeah, on Wednesdays. I said tomorrow, but somebody might listen to this at a different time. But so Wednesdays, a new episode
at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you want to tune in on that. And make sure you find him online. Ian Bagg with 2 G's, my favorite comedian.
Oh, nice.
I look at my wife when I say that.
Debbie.
That's okay. He's my favorite too.
Good luck sleeping in the bed tonight, Debbie.
That's right. The couch is awfully comfy.
I'm sure Ian would love to spoon with you.
Meow, meow, meow.
All right.
Take your car up there. Meow, meow, meow.
This just got out of hand. All right, Ian. Thanks a lot, brother.
We love you.
Thanks for having me on
Love
your
to carry on.
All right.
Thank
Take
you.
care, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone.
He is so funny.
Yes, I think even more than just funny, he's a great guy to talk to.
Boy, we went a long time.
Yeah, we sure did.
Sorry, folks.
This was supposed to
Poor
be a
Mike.
10-minute
Look at Mike is there
podcast.
at midnight somewhere. Awesome show, guys. Thanks. Needed laughs. Oh my God, isn't he funny? He's so funny. Good night, you guys. Good night.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up because people have been with us for a long time. Don't forget, Sunday we're going to start with a sheet pan dinner, and we're going to be doing in December gifts from your kitchen and some cookies 101. And we're just going to have a ball. We're going to have a good time in December, and we're going to teach you or encourage you to take your Christmas holiday back and do something different with it this year, because we're all going to be doing something different this year.
Yeah. Make sure you check us out online, cookingwithdebbieandfriends.com. Instagram is at cookingwithdebbie, DEBI. YouTube /Mommycomic, Facebook /Debi Gutierrez. And then on the audio side, if you want to check it out, it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of your other favorite places to find podcasts. So you can check that out as well. And with that, we will see you again on Sunday.
We bid you adieu.
Good night.